allow the children to attend the budget.
It's okay. Off your mind. It's okay.
She
off your mind.
like me.
Chai! Now wow, people wey suppose talk truth to power don't off mic. And if we talk, now 500,000 they go summer us, call them hate speech. But fear not, Maiyegun don't come. Ingo torchlight every corner, nooks and cranny of all these bad people where they spoil our country. So my people make we laugh, Maiyegun don't come, my people make we shout, Maiyegun don't come, Maiyegun don't come, man of the masses, Maiyegun don't come, Maiyegun diary politico, Maiyegun don't come, this one not the off in mind, Maiyegun don't come, and in the touchlight every corner, Maiyegun don't come. Okay, some people be they holla say they want the power. Chai, them be promise us say we go get light and power. Them hustle sote they can't get the power. But now they know they do anything with the power. Every day, dollar just they get the higher power over naira. Still them talk say make we off mind. But thank God say Maiyegun don't come. So my people make you ladder. Maiyegun don't come. My people make we shout. Maiyegun don't come. Maiyegun don't come, man of the masses. Maiyegun don't come. Maiyegun diary politico. Maiyegun don't come. This one not they off in mind. Maiyegun don't come. Person where they do evil, no one make person talk. Them say that Maiyegun, that man too they talk. He too they talk. Say Maiyegun diary, he they hot like pepper. But every day then they take money in bulk. Woman picking, they the street they hawk. Still them talk say make we no talk. But thank God say Maiyegun don't come. So my people make you laugh. Maiyegun don't come. My people make you shout. Maiyegun don't come. Maiyegun don't come, man of the masses.
Hello there.
Maiyegun la wa mo, la mo dojodojo. Maiyegun la wa mo, la mo dojodojo.
Good morning to you. Good afternoon to you. And good evening to you from wherever you are joining us this moment. It is brunch time with Maiyegun. Thank you so much for joining me from wherever you are joining us this noon. It is brunch time with Maiyegun again. Read beyond the caption of the broadcast. First, the caption, okay? Then the description. Like it, share it, invite your friends, invite your not so friendly friends, and tell all of them that Maiyegun today.
YouTube. And yes, oh, Baba,
thiefnubu's DSS last night took over the Labour House in Abuja in their search for what they call the materials from the NLC in preparation of joining the national protests. Remember, they said they arrested 6 Spaniards. I actually thought they said 5. Now they said it's actually 6. They arrested 6 Spaniards sponsoring protests in Nigeria. They have also said they've arrested 7 Polish printing Russian flags in Kano, Poland, Polish people, and Russia. Lamba of the what do you call it? Lamba of the century. They haven't displayed any of these guys. They said they have arrested sponsoring the hunger protest in Nigeria. Share this. Invite your friends, not so friendly friends. Tell all of them. So, but today, good afternoon to you again. Good morning to you and good evening to you from wherever you are joining us this moment. It is brunch time with Maiyegun and also a little bit of a snippet into the 8th day of Days of Rage with the hashtag End Bad Governance in Nigeria, hashtag Egg Them. So they have been battling this. I'm talking about thiefnubu and gang. They have been battling with this for over a month, but this last 1 week has been a tell-it-all. Now, I am not bringing you much of the updates from the protester ground this morning, but I've got few. I'll show you, okay? From Lagos, from, but there is some level of retrospection that I want us to do at this moment, okay? However, last night, like I said, thiefnubu said DSS. After, I'm going to read something to you, right? After the NLC condemned the attacks on protesters and calling out for accountability on the part of the government to show to the world, including the protesters, that they are indeed, they can be trusted. Yeah. Now, after issuing this yesterday, yesterday morning, the supposed State Secret Service, the most stupid service, they visited the NLC. So I'll just give you the highlights of why. So NLC had a meeting to review this 1 week of hunger protest, economic hardship protest in Nigeria, which has really, really gripped Nigeria, but not as it should have. You know what I mean? However, NLC felt like, one, they said, call for a day of mourning for those killed, okay? Demand for policy reversal, which means what the protesters are demanding for is just reverse all these policies. Nobody says they want to remove you or anything. Reverse these policies. They are killing people, impoverishing them. They are hungry. And this is not even a joke. Like, this is not even like, you don't even need anybody to come and sponsor you to say you are hungry if you are hungry. Yeah, those who are not are possibly staying out. In fact, most of those who even join too, these are people who can still manage to survive in that contraption. But in northern Nigeria, these protesters now further exposed the kind of leadership that in northern Nigeria has been given to Nigeria, a backward one. Now that we have this excessive, what they now call dangerous Almajiri system in northern Nigeria, that Almajiri system was never a threat to the political class until now. Now, these protesters exposed that, right? We'll get to that. So NLC was like a call for accountability. It said at their neck meeting. So they called that everybody should take account. I mean, should give account of what they have done. The military, the police, killing the people. Dialogue and engagement. Right. If you want to say you want to dialogue with people, what kind of dialogue are you talking about? Is it that you have a plan to say, I've seen your demands, this, we can deal with them right now. This, and that, we can't do them right away. Can you give up? Like, you are not responding in that regard. So NLC want them to kind of, if you say you want to engage with people, you don't send the soldiers and military and thugs to go and kill them. That is not dialogue and engagement. You get that now? You can't say, go away first, and then we can talk. If you don't go away, I will kill you. I will continue to kill you. And then you also dangling dialogue. Dialogue with what? With who? So they're like, they said, immediate relief measures. Now, immediate relief measure means that stop giving people rights and all of that. Okay? Relief measure that's actually going to touch everyone. Policy reversal. So they said stop politically motivated meddling. Yes. Sponsoring politically motivated hateful speeches against the legitimate demand or the legitimate demands of the protesting Nigerians. Stop. That's what they said, right? That's what put them in trouble. So it said strengthening solidarity. Now, all of them have to come together. This is within them now, like they have to come together now, okay? And show solidarity. Something that pointed to, like, maybe NLC also will likely join them. I've been hearing that for the past 3 days, right? And people have been saying, don't join us, so don't join us, so don't, you know what I mean? Like, now, they now said call for action. They said, continue to keep themselves safe in the midst of the protest, advising the people to, continue to keep themselves safe, do all you can to avoid any sort of violence and all that, whatever. So then they continued. Here, oh, hang on. I've mixed that up. 1 sec. Right, that's the second page, by the way. Right? So they said mass protest and government response. They discussed that. Trivialization of treasonable felony, accusing the protesters of committing, treasonable felony. That because they are holding a flag or flying a flag or a particular whatever, that is not treasonable. It is to aggravate. This is further aggravating the whole issue because people are not listening to you. They're still flying the flags, right? And you cannot continue to sort of say they are committing treasonable. Treasonable felony is the punishment for treason is death. So how can you kill somebody because they are holding a flag that you have everywhere all over the place, right? Or using the word treason against a legitimate protest. So NLC was like, against that. So human rights violations, they were against that. Government's meddlesomeness, which is using a government ministers, appointees to go on TV, to go and, incite people against the protesters. This is, right? So they also kind of, in their demand now, right, here, they said, session therefore reached the following resolutions, okay? So they said the demand for policy reversal, which I've actually mentioned that, sorry. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Policy reversal, calls for accountability, calls for a day of mourning, and the protesters themselves have sort of declared a 3-day mourning period for the people killed. So talking about those they are sending on TV, politicians eating up the polity, trying to blackmail the protesters, undermine their legitimate demands, accuse them of what they have not done, criminalize protest in a democracy, and unleash violence on protesters. Then in all of this, blame them for everything that goes bad. The same protesters. So all of these are just like violation of what they call the human right. You don't have that in Nigeria. But these are the time to also, yeah? But this man says something, which I said earlier. As much as you have seen looting in northern Nigeria, there's something that happened in Kano, right? And it's so significant in this, among many things that happened, right? It is so significant. They said, you see these Kano rioters, those ones they sent to hijack their protests, right? They looted a store. They looted the warehouse. Then they looted the library. Man, they took everything in the library. Everything. But the book. Like they stole the furniture, they stole the lightings, they stole the switch, the wiring, everything inside the library. But not a single book. And that man was like, that tells you all you need to know. If you have been followed in the last 25 years, to be precise, you have had all criminals parading themselves as leaders of northern Nigeria, including former presidents. And it's shocking.
Understand what is societal values, they don't understand what is societal norms, and they are roaming the streets. And we could see them 5 to 10 coming out to protest. And imagine when they broke into Kano, the National Library in Kano, they took away everything except books. Not one book was taken by anybody. That tells you that, look, these guys, you know, their direction is totally different from whatever you are thinking of. So we have neglected education in northern Nigeria. We have allowed a large army of uneducated young people out of school, roaming the streets. They have been the reservoir from where insurgents have been recruiting their army. They have been the reservoir from where bandits and kidnappers have been recruiting their army. I even saw a placard in Hausa saying, Munasa Arage Kudin Wiwi, that they want Igbo Indian hemp prices to crash. You know, these are the kind of people that we are breeding in northern Nigeria. Understand what is?
That's the kind of people they are breeding in northern Nigeria. It's the closest to truth that you can get from a northerner. A failed region, courtesy of those born to rule criminals from northern Nigeria, brandishing religion and all of that, catching them young. They're always there. And whenever they need them for political upheaval, political violence, they're always there. And they love it that way. They talk about it all the time. Goodluck Ebere Jonathan was building schools for them. Remember? He was building schools for them. 1,500 Almajiri schools scattered all over 11 states in northern Nigeria. Within a space of 5 years, Boko Haram came. They shut down all those schools. All of them. The children back on the streets. Did Boko Haram invest a penny in education in northern Nigeria as federal? Listen, no. It is not the job of the federal government to provide primary education. But because education is not priority in northern Nigeria, education is never a priority to the criminals representing northern Nigeria for years. And until now, so Goodluck Ebere Jonathan that built them schools, it was demonized. Yeah, they sent the children after him to stone him in Bauchi yesterday. 8 children were killed in Bauchi during the protest. Yeah, in front of the Emir also palace. When things gone hurry, the Nigerian army, they opened fire on them and they killed 8, injured over 40 of them. These are the children that have not been given any real training, no skill, no training. You hear that, man? Among the protesters, children, they were carrying placard and asking for the price of Igbo to crash. Igbo is becoming expensive. Drug addiction in northern Nigeria is epidemic. See, it's a pandemic. All these things, all these vices. So the criminals running and ruining Nigeria from northern Nigeria, they don't give a damn. It's all about power, isn't it? It's all about power. So yeah, you can be very much kind of like right if you feel like this protest is nonsense because they did not do it under Boko Haram. Come on. What do you think we mean by Nigeria is sitting on a keg of gunpowder? Have you not seen the imports of all this Almajirism to the southern part of Nigeria in the last 25 years? I put it on Maiyegun's diary Politico this morning. I said, has anyone else noticed in Lagos in particular and across Yoruba land? I am a Yoruba man, and seriously, I'm more concerned about what happened in Yoruba land. Just same way as I am concerned about other places. But you know what? I am a Yoruba man. So I could add emotion to mine because this is like something that hits home. You know, it hits close to home. We talk about this poverty all the time. Bad governance, poverty. But have you noticed the pandemic of begging in Yoruba land lately? Have you? Where you go to canteens, or you go to malls, just everywhere. So I raised that on Maiyegun's diary, Political this morning. I said, man, have you noticed this? And yeah, some voluntary slaves from their sewage where they live, they crawled out. Okay? And to them, why do you always like to tarnish the image of Yoruba? You are tarnishing the image of Yoruba just to make your Igbo friends happy. I saw that. I didn't respond. I just kind of banned the person. I hardly respond to them anymore because I do read my comments. And the reason why I read my comments is because I know in that comment, right, there's always going to be what do you call it? An Agbadorian, an Abobaku, a Ronuku, a Ronunazi, a Yoruba Ponu. Do you get that now? There's always going to jump at it and then come for me straight up. You get what that emotional blackmail. I noticed something that was never there. And I raised the alarm and said, have you noticed too? And a lot of people said it's true, man. It is a serious issue. Like the poverty is real, Baba. Children, adults. Like they are like aggressively asking for money. You get that? Like, please now. Ejo, sir. Anything you can. And it gets so bad that it is pretty much like you have to give before you leave, or you become a little bit aggressive yourself before they will leave you. Like people are reporting that in an attempt of giving people money in Lagos, they are robbing them. Like you feel so sorry for someone, and you're like, okay, you know what? I don't have cash. So let's go to the POS. And I even want to take some money out anyway. So I'll give you something. And then, bah, run. So the poverty, they will tell you, they are just lazy people. That's the easy excuse. People are just lazy, Jari. They don't want to work. Instead of them to go and do alabaru. Instead of them to go and, the easy way of blaming the victims of a failed country. I have noticed that in the midst of supposed plenty, when your own criminal leaders in Yoruba land, they are living the life of opulence, and you are living the life of misery, the one that makes you feel comfortable at least, that you have rich leaders who have so much money, your money. Why children are dropping out of schools, like boom. And then when you say, man, have you seen the rate at which the number of out-of-school children in Yoruba land, for example, have you checked it out? Some will not even believe. They'll be like, they are just there to go and do hawking. When I was a little boy, I used to go and do hawking before I go to school. And when you were hawking as a child in that poverty, were you happy enough that you actually wish that on your children? Majority of you who hawked, like some will use that the excuse, right? In that poor contraption, right? Majority of you who claim to have hawked before you went to school, right? During your own childhood. A lot of you grew up vowing that your children, in fact, any member of your family would never go through that again. But when APC started policies that are pushing our people into poverty, dropping out of schools, no skills, they are growing in a system that has nothing for them, right? They have no means of actually like navigating through this world when they are not prepared, other than also do whatever you can to make money, or nobody go ask you where you get them. You get them if you want to be armed robber, if you want to be 419, if you want to be murderer, if you want to be anything, do anything where you want to do. Nobody care. And in the process, you and I will also be their victims. I've said this many times. This is why when you look at what these guys represent, it is so foolish of anyone to begin to brandish tribal, ethnic, and other nonsense that you put up. Sorry, I think I'm having a problem with our network, right? I'm going to go fix that. Here is what Oshiomhole had to say. Again, trying to undermine the legitimate demand of the people. Listen.
The point is that there is no miracle in governance. right? And nobody promised miracle. But anybody who is a keen observer of what is going on in the country will agree that some major decisions have been taken. Unfortunately, for every decision that you take, just like taking medication, most medication can be so potent and yet they could have huge side effects. Now, to avoid them, you have to make a critical choice. A patient is so critically ill, but to get him back on his feet, you may have to take measures like surgery, right? And that means you will this patient, after administering some pain relief, you wheel the patient into the theater and you open him up or her up. Now, at the time of opening the patient up, his condition is going to deteriorate further. But the surgeon is certain that with time, he will not only recover, he will heal fully. Now, the thing I want to talk about is people hiding under what is, obviously not a secret, namely that there are challenges with regards to cost of living. Of course, there is no doubt, even the president acknowledges that, which is why there are various handouts, palliative, some intervention instruments, etc., etc. That is to acknowledge that the state should not just lament the unintended side effect. It should be seen to apply some pain reliefs while the recovery period is on. Now, there are people who have lost election and who, by their comments and pronouncements, are behind the protests that people want to do. I am a believer in protests. I led several protests. It's arguable if any other living Nigerian can claim to lead as many protests as I did, to a point that President Obasanjo accused me of parading myself as alternate president, running a parallel government. But in all of that, while we cite and take over under the Nigerian Constitution when I'm taken to court as many times as I was taken to court, the fact is that what we are demanding were things that are on the table, that are negotiable under the law. Where the Constitution gives you the right to associate, it does not give you the right to organize a protest for a regime change. If you play back my interview, whether on NTA or channels or television or AIT, I did say then, we want to change the policy, not the policy maker. I am not that the power to change the policy maker rests with the electorate. So when people claim that because of the hardship, which everybody knows, they capitalize on that, take advantage and play up on people's sensitivities, and they are making demand that you can reduce to one thing, regime change. When you tell me you want to reclaim Nigeria, is Nigeria currently under foreign occupation? Is this president not in Nigeria? Is Southwest not part of Nigeria? You are reclaiming it from which foreign authority and for which Nigeria? I mean, you can see clearly what is behind that if you say you want to reclaim Nigeria. Who are you different from those who have been elected by the people of Nigeria? You want to put an end to this. If you have negotiable issues, negotiate them. But nothing in the Constitution allows you to even peacefully demand the regime change. You cannot peacefully do so. The Constitution does not allow you to do that. And so my advice to those who are politically aggrieved, who are unable to overcome their defeat, is that they should wait for 2007 and use whatever advantage they think that will accrue and go for election. But to hide under the challenges that people are facing and to do the sort of thing that they want to do, let's not deceive ourselves. I don't sit on the fence. I have never, and I pray that my condition will not deteriorate to a level that I will be afraid to see this as it is not possible for an amorphous group, not structured, no clear command structure, no basis for influence. They are not accountable to anyone, to say they are putting the whole country out of business for 10 whole days, peacefully. It's not possible to peacefully shut down the economy for 10 days.
Oshiomole is an Oloribuku person. But do you see the way he managed to, this is how they talk to Nigerians, okay? And some dumbos will sit down there and be like, you see how he managed to kind of twisted it? Yeah, the constitution allows you, oh yeah, we agree, things are hard in Nigeria. But there's something you must know. This protest is not sponsored by the hunger. It is sponsored by people who lost election. Practically saying Atiku, Obi, and Kwakwanso and Showore, they are the 4 people who are organizing the hunger protest in Nigeria. This is APC for you, right? Not because people are hungry. No. Then he said, we must recover Nigeria. There is no hashtag that says recover Nigeria. But he's already dropped that in the subconscious mind of the fools that listen to people like him and get deceived by them, right? There was nowhere anybody said they want to remove thiefnubu. The point was that reverse the policy. That's what they said. And they are not talking about all of that. He just brushed over it and said, yeah, we know things are hard, but it's like going through an operation. They always have these stupid analogies. Like thiefnubu said, what you are going through is baby step of pain. This Olori Bruku Shiomole as well is telling you that what you are going through right now is surgical operation. That's what thiefnubu is doing. And yes, your situation will get deteriorated, but the surgeon knows that you will recover. That was how they told you about Bokuwari as well. You are still dead on that operation table of APC. What they are doing right now is that they are departing Nigeria. Here you get now. They're cutting it, whatever is left. Everybody's cutting his own part, and they're asking you to wait. That's painful. It's okay, it's okay. We are just removing your left leg. Would I not need a leg again? No, we don't think so. Don't worry. Just removing that. You'll be fine. One leg is okay. Remember, you can even use clutches too, yeah? Yeah, I said, what is that? I said, we are removing your right legs because we need to remove your right leg. But it was okay. It was, why are you removing it? And they're like, we need to remove it. Is this, that's what they are doing to all of you. By the time they are done, you see those that will survive, they won't even have any strength, any mental strength to challenge these criminals anymore. And I think that probably will be your fate anyway, since it seemed that the supposed hardship, economic hardship protest hasn't really received the wider expected coverage as it should all over Nigeria. Well, and we do know why, okay? For areas where they have been so strong, they have been there and repeating same thing. Reverse this policy. What do you need any leadership for? What do you need structure for when Nigerians are already relying on the structure of hunger, hardship, terrorism, and all those as their reasons for why they wanted a better place, right? So they won't, rather they will just gaslight and accuse them so that they can now say, asking for a better government in this regard, or shutting down the country, as they put it, is, it's never going to allow you, it's never going to make you get what you want. So therefore, you are actually committing a crime that you can be killed for, treasonable felony. That's how they drop out those things. And right now in northern Nigeria, where they should really be worried, they are praying for thiefnubu to buy. And yes, children are involved too. This one is a stretch. If it's distressful, you can go make coffee. Come back in 5 minutes.
والعطش يا رب العالمين اللهم عليك بأحمد بولا تنبو 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 يا رب العالمين وسائر أعوانه يا رب العالمين اللهم انصرنا عليهم 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 يا رب العالمين
ذات بيننا وبين قلوبنا سبل السلام من الفواحش ما ظهر منها وما بطن من الظلمات إلى النار يا أرحم الراحمين يا رب العالمين يا أرحم الراحمين يا رب العالمين اللهم إنا نسألك رضاك والجنة من سخطك والنار وإنا نسألك الجنة قرب إليها قول وعمل بك من النار قرب إليها قول وعمل صل على محمد وآل محمد وصليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد بارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد وباركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد اللهم لا رب لنا سواك فندعوه لا مالك لنا غيرك فنرجوه أنت تطلب وأنت المطلوب نسأل وأنت صاحب الكرم والجود اللهم أعطنا ولا تحرمنا وأكرمنا ولا تهنا وزدنا ولا تنقصنا وزدنا ولا تقطعنا وآثرنا ولا تؤثر علينا وآثرنا ولا تؤثر علينا وادنا ويسر الهدى لنا برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين يا رب العالمين اللهم أجب دعاءنا 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 يا رب العالمين اللهم بارك علينا يا رب العالمين اللهم اجعلنا مباركين أينما كنا يا رب العالمين اللهم اجعلنا مباركين أينما كنا يا رب العالمين برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين يا رب العالمين ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار ربنا لا تزغ قلوبنا بعد إذ هديتنا وهب لنا من لدنك رحمة إنك أنت الوهاب ربنا إنك جامع الناس ليوم لا ريب فيه إن الله لا يخلف الميعاد ربنا اجعلنا مسلمين لك ومن ذريتنا أمة مسلمة لك وأرنا مناسكنا وتب علينا إنك أنت التواب الرحيم برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين يا رب العالمين ربنا ولا تحمل علينا إسرا كما حملته على الذين من قبلنا ربنا ولا تحملنا ما لا طاقة لنا به واعف عنا واعف عنا واعف عنا واغفر لنا واغفر لنا واغفر لنا وارحمنا 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 أنت مولانا وانصرنا على القوم الكافرين وانصرنا على القوم الظالمين وانصرنا على القوم الظالمين وانصرنا على القوم الظالمين برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين يا رب العالمين سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك نشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت نستغفرك ونتوب إليك سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون سلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. Yeah, that was one afar, as well as and his students. Now, Apart from the fact that during their prayer session, they had to pray to Allah to help them destroy thiefnubu, as he has unleashed a punishment on them. Allah should punish him, deny him al-Jannah, let him suffer like the people have suffered. And then the Allah should bring succor to the people, bring helper, bring all that stuff, right? Then he continued his prayer. But that is not the reason why I showed you that video. No. If you saw that comment I put on, right? Now, the reason why I showed you that video is to see the context of Almajiri system. Now, listen. You see, half of the children in that gathering, their parents have left them for him as their teacher. Their welfare, feeding, schooling, medicals, and all of that, gone. They won't look back. They've now become his property. So he's the one to now teach them the way of Allah. And in return, the children, they will go out and beg. Whatever they manage to get, they will bring it back to their father, the teacher. So the teacher and his own family or wives will now provide food for these children. Now, see, Almajiri sin in northern Nigeria was an idea that they put together. It was never there. It wasn't their culture or tradition or nothing. It was an idea put together for the children who are like orphans. So rather than allow them to roam the streets, they ended up in the care of a teacher, a malam. Okay? Now, a teacher would then be the one to provide for them. It's more or less like a charity. Okay? It will give charity, take care of them. But over time, people became poorer, that not just the orphans became Almajiri. Even the children whose parents are alive and well, but they can't take care of them. They just dump them to the affairs. Now, usually people go to the affairs and give them money to support the Almajiri system. But over time, that free flow of cash started drying up. Put it that way, started drying up. Okay? Some said it was the greed of these affairs that led them to send all those children as young as 2-year-old baby. They'll give them bowl and push them on the streets to go beg. Because now, Afa, who probably has just about maybe 6 or 7 children himself, we now have to care for about 100 children. They were supposed to be otherwise be on the streets. So the well-to-do, the rich, they go to the malams and support them. So I think that has reduced enough that these children have to go on the street and beg. Now it became so high that some of these Almajiri, they started springing up almost everywhere across the northern Nigeria in the last 25 years. It wasn't this massive. So usually you will see, the only time you will see children begging is the children who are with their own parents, who have possibly left in northern Nigeria, come down south to beg. You see the children with their parents. So in northern Nigeria, they are fast. They saw an opportunity because the children could go out. If you send 200 children out to go and beg, they may come back home with maybe 10, 15,000 naira a day or more. And any one of them that didn't come with anything, they won't eat. So they started maltreating them. Sometimes they will say, the Almajiri will tell you, I can't go home. I cannot. So why? Because I've not gotten anything. They will not give me food. They will not give me anything. They will beat me for coming back empty-handed. Children. So now that you have out-of-school children in northern Nigeria that are over 10 million out-of-school children, 10 million out-of-school children, guess where they are? They are either with the Boko Haram, Fulani bandits, terrorists, or these Almajiri affairs, using them for fundraising, like begging. That's what I wanted you to see in that video. Now, he's a teacher to the people, right? But it's also it's also part of the political structure they talk about in Nigeria. Those are the children that were actually queue to vote. Underage voters. Underage voters in northern Nigeria are supplied by the Afars, by the imams, all those their imams. And they are not doing it for free. So that's where the political class comes in. They pay people like him. All they have to do is just tell that crowd, you know, he's got like about about 60 or 70 children. That's massive. That's more than enough to deliver a polling unit to a political party. That is power. But the whole context there shows religion and a teacher. But they are talking about thiefnubu, which is, I kind of say amen to that though, right? I'm just trying to let you see other part of it. How this whole thing. Now imagine having that kind of structure like that, that space there, right? Imagine having like maybe 10,000 of it. I'm not kidding you. And I'm even trying to be generous, like be conservative, rather. Imagine that group of people there. Let me show you again. Imagine the...
اللهم عليك بأحمد بولا تنبو يا رب العالمين. 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 وسائر أعوانه يا رب العالمين. اللهم انصرنا عليهم 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 يا رب العالمين.
Do you get that? You see that place, right? Yes. That is what the northern criminal politicians, that is what they are funding. And that is why at any given opportunity for us to break up that contraption, please, I'm begging you, don't let it slide. Take it. Totally. Their politics, sorry, their religion is politics. And every child that passed through these guys is indoctrinated for a purpose later. Is either preparing them for a jihad or prepare them to further undermine the electoral process in that contraption, manipulate it, and make sure that the worst of the worst continue to emerge as your leaders. It's there. Then when they finish using them, they will abandon them until next time again. So if you have a chance of breaking up Nigeria, please, my dear brothers and sisters, please, don't think it twice. Take it. It is for your own good. It's for everybody's good. It is also for their own good. So that charlatan like this, a failed governor like this, also, somebody where they're supposed to stone inside the Bauchi government house, a jihadist, a Fulani terrorist himself. Do you know that this guy is also a Fulani terrorist? He defends them like shitty man. He said, Nigeria to Fulanis all over the world is their country. And as Nigeria is one country, Nigerians should learn how to welcome their Fulani brothers. Like, because Nigeria is the headquarters of all Fulanis. Nigeria is their country. Every Fulani in the world believes that Nigeria is their own. He said it. And this is one of them. So he has something. He's going to run for president in 2027. Bala Muhammad.
Manusoro. And that's what we do. We don't deceive or dilute. We respect the people. And that is why in the midst of protests, we came out to show you that Bauchi is different. The youth are with us. We are with them. They are we and we are them. We have always respected people, especially their opinion. The protest has shown us so many things, lessons to be learned. But it appears the APC leadership has learned nothing. I listened with rapt attention to the speech of Mr. President. And I say with humility and courage that what he said was empty. It did not agree with the situation. It did not address the problems and challenges. The problem are not his alone. It's for all of us leaders, from presidency to the subnational and to the local government. And we can see the manifestations have different colorations. from the north to the south. In the north, there is a very big wake-up call for us to bring good governance, to respect people. There is anger and hunger. We have to really address our problems of development. Unemployment is everywhere. Our educational system is not working. The new policy thrust of the federal government is not working. They have to understand that. It is their problems. It is their program that has caused all this problem. So they have to change. We in Bauchi are ready to change. Because change is the only thing that is constant. We have to change our ways to address the problems of this youth. Not to think that we can pass the buck and blame the governors or blame the local governments. I have heard, and with regrettable attention, some of the ministers of the federal government are saying that we have been given 70 trucks. We have been given 500 and something million. How much did the federal government make? What have they done with it? Why should they bring a policy that is causing pain? On your behalf, I'm telling Mr. President Tinubu to change his policy. Because it's not working. Because anything he does, he's our leader. It will affect us in every corner, in every political party. And that is why, if he continues like this, in 2027, I will invite him to be our campaign director. Because everywhere will be PDP. And we are going to win because it will be a self-inflicted injury. We know it's time for governance. We as opposition, we are keeping quiet because we don't want to overheat the polity. But the federal government is doing so many things to cause disaffection. And we want to say with humility that this must stop. As for the youth and Nigerian people that have protested, the PDP has listened. All the PDP governors on their behalf were saying that we have listened. Even the other governors in the APC have listened. But the federal government...
Nuisance Leleyi. Nuisance Leleyi.
It is always about the next elections. Never about the next generations. No. It is right, in fairness, right? In fairness, I know a lot of you have said people should go and hold their governors responsible with what they are doing with money. I get you. Okay? Or you know, that statement is naive. It's part of it, okay, but it's completely naive. It is not the state governors that floated the naira. Not the state governors that removed subsidy without any plan. It is not the state governors that increased all your taxes. It is not the state governors. Listen, these are policies of the federal government pronounced by thiefnubu, whether you are APC or PDP, doesn't matter. You see other ones that they collected money and shared that money. Well, that is also hugely part of the problem. Okay? But there are many, many of you whose life does not revolve around what government is doing, which means if government has money and they have contractors that they are paying in order to, they give job out, fix road, they pay the contractors get their money in time, they pay their taxes, and the money continues to roll in the economy that way, right? Yes. But the problem is that the inflation, the hyperinflation that you have, and everything else, that one that affects you direct, those of you who have nothing to do with government per se. I'm talking about like you have nothing, you are just running your business is struggling. It's not because of a state governor collected money and looted the money alone. Okay, this is policy. Okay, so that you have to use so much money now to run your businesses, and you have to cut staff, you have to sack some people because the economy is not looking good anymore. That one has nothing to do with governors. These are direct policies that are just policy pronouncements. When they increase the tariff, the custom tariff, that will make them declare so much money, that say, we have generated 1.2 trillion. You read that in the papers, right? The Nigerian custom generates 1.2 trillion naira in 7 months because they increased the tariff. You know who is going to pay that money? You. Because everything they brought into Nigeria, everything they bring into Nigeria, that they charge them for, you will pay times 3, times 4 of what you used to pay for. And thiefnubu can go and brag and say, oh yeah, we make more money from customs because they are just charging taxation. Just take money from them, charge them. Oh yeah, bring it. Where does the money go to? It goes straight into servicing the greed of these criminals. Don't ever forget that. You've lost your job. That's not because of a governor collecting money and it is Jare. Could listen. What's the problem? Comprehension. Emotional intelligence. Comprehension. That's the problem. You are working as a banker. No, not as a banker. You are working as what can I use you as? So let's say you're working as a store manager somewhere, a big mall manager. And a state governor collected 10 billion naira. And he decided to use the money to create jobs in the local government areas. That's not your job. I mean, you have a job, right? Now, if the economy downturn that is hitting everybody left, right, and center hits your job or hits your business, then you lose that job. You don't go about and start shouting, now so that one wasted 10 billion naira. You need to face the main economy policies that took that your job. Do you understand? So he was right. But yeah, he didn't miss the chance of telling all of them that we have listened to you. He's a state governor that collects money every month. He's on his second term. He's now 5 years as governor of Bauchi State. He was a minister, by the way, Bala Muhammad. You know him. Now, Bala Muhammad, as a governor of Bauchi State, in 5 years, has had more children out of school than all of his predecessors combined. Before this criminal became Bauchi governor, well, they actually had less than 400,000 out of school children in Bauchi. Yeah, then the Boko Haram and the rest of them. Today, they have more than 800,000. But I'm not saying 800. I say 800,000 school-age children who are supposed to be in schools, but they are not. They're either roaming the streets left, right, and center, or they are roaming the streets. Because, I mean, what would they be doing? Now, the way they quickly put it in, if thiefnubu, it's not our fault that thiefnubu has failed enough. All these youth, they have no job. Bauchi State is also one of the states with the highest number of unemployed people. Highest number of is also one of the states with a high number of poorest people in Nigeria. But these guys are living large, like for real. They are billionaires and they are in their own right. So he quickly want to jump into it and say, 2027, he will invite thiefnubu to come and join his campaign. He wants to be president of Nigeria. It's always about the next election, my dear. For these rogues, it's never about the next generation. Know this, and you will know peace. See, here is the interview granted the father of the young man, 16-year-old Ismail Muhammad, that got killed by the military, by the soldiers in Kaduna, Zaria yesterday. Oh, it was actually like 2 days ago, not yesterday, because it was yesterday that this interview took place after the burial, when the Nigerian army went to him and gave him 300,000 naira compensation. Some said, no, it was just a gift from the pocket of the military chief that visited his family. Others said, no, it's compensation. See the way they package it. Compensation for the loss of life. In Anambra, when Obaino was governor, if you kill a cow, in Anambra State, they will pay you, you will pay 500,000 naira. If you kill if the cow owner kill anybody in Anambra, they would have to pay, guess, 500,000 naira as well. So it was cheap. It's much like life. It's a bit kind of more, more valuable in Anambra than in Zaria. This is just my own opinion. Okay, let's go see what the old man had to say. And the credit for this clip goes to the News Central, who conducted this interview. So let's go listen.
And we're broadcasting live here on News Central Television, and we have breaking news. Well, earlier on, we were joined by our man, Emmanuel Bagudu, who is live in Zaria, giving us an update concerning the death of a 16-year-old boy who was killed, allegedly, by a bullet from the gun of an officer. According to the community in Samaru, they said the officers were not provoked, hence their actions seem to be very, very worrisome and in question. Well, the latest update is that the public relations officer for the Nigerian Army, Major General Oyema Nwachukwu, has stated that the army, who indeed pulled the trigger that led to the death of young Muhammad, the soldier, beg your pardon, who pulled the trigger that led to the death of the young lad, has been arrested. That's what we get. We do hear that the army has been detained, and most importantly, he's being held, and more questions will be asked. We do have our man who's joining us once again. Emmanuel, he's there. A few minutes ago, we did see the entire scenario of what took place from where the bullets passed through the door to the wall, and it was mentioned that it hit the 16-year-old Muhammad on his neck, just right there. But I do have feeders that we have Emmanuel who's joining us again. Emmanuel, if you can hear me. So what's the latest now, especially having spoken to the father? Can you categorically let him share with us what Muhammad's life was like before it was sniffed or taken away from him? And most importantly, who was he in the community? Was he troublesome? And most importantly, was he part of the protesters who joined in desecrating and scattering and looting and stealing? Was he a looter, or, as alleged, he was really in the house? He never joined the protest and the likes. We'd like to know more about the 16-year-old late Muhammad.
Okay. I can still confirm that I'm still at the residence of the late Ismaila Muhammad, who was allegedly, killed by the bullet wounds of officer of Nigerian Army. I'm with the father here. I'm going to ask him those questions. Baba, Tembeka, when the abubuwa ne kai shi Ismaila wanda irin yaro ne mai kirki. Yaro ne wanda shi baya neman tsokana, baya neman fitina. Yaro ne mai kirki. Kamar da ake cewa yara ne su fito suna baya neman fitina. Wanda irin yaro ne shi kafin ya rasu. Decent person ne, kuma shi loyal. Very class boy, kuma educated boy, very intelligent. Yana makaranta? Zai shiga SS1 yanzu. Zai shiga SS1. Sana'a shi dinki, tailor ne, best student. Tailor kuma? Wow. So yanzu kayan jiki na nan shi dinka musu. Wow. So why he's saying that he was a very, very industrious person, a very good boy, intelligent boy. In fact, he's a tailor. That is very fabric that he's wearing, the father is wearing, it was Ismail that actually sold it, and that has been testified by the neighbors here. And that the boy is a very, very, very hardworking boy. He's a very, very loyal boy. He doesn't protest, doesn't do anything. He after he comes back from school, he just go into his tailoring shop and continue doing his business, and doesn't find any trouble anywhere. That's what the father just said in Hausa. Thank you.
Can you also confirm if at any point he decided to join the looters and possibly the protesters, and said he would also want to protest?
Okay, Baba, akwai lokacin da yace shi ina so ya shiga wanda suke zanga-zanga.
Ai ko atem. Shi bai san hayaniya ma shi. Mu ba mu taba yi a Samaru ma. Gaba ɗaya Samaru tun da aka fara up to date ba a yi wani zanga-zanga ba. Ba wani hayaniya da aka yi a Samaru. Ba abin da ya faru. Su kullun suna gida, kullun suna shago, daga umar gida sai shagon su. Yawa.
Well, he said there was never a time that there was even a protest in Samaru in the first place. So since there was no protest in Samaru, how would the boy even think of going for a protest? So there is no protest. So there was no reason for the boy to even ask that he wants to go for protest. That the boy has never told anyone that is going for protest. That is only between him. It's only between his house and his tailoring shop. And that is a very, very, very obedient boy, and that has never been part of any protest before. Thank you.
All right, the director of the Army Public Relations has released a statement that the soldier who actually pulled the trigger has been detained. Can you ask late Mohammed's father, Ismail Mohammed's father, if he's expecting any justice from this released statement? And most importantly, is he looking forward to see justice prevail?
Okay, so Baba, sun ce Army sun fitar da statement da safan da sun ce ai sun kama sojan nan da ya kashe yaron ka.
To.
Kuma su za su hukunta shi.
To.
Kai a kaninka wannan magana zai tasiri?
To, sun dai faɗa. Amma dai mu muna expecting dai su su mana adalci kuma su biya mu diya yaron mu. Yawwa, kawai ni abin da zan iya faɗa kenan. Yawwa.
Yes, he said he heard about the statement. He read the statement from the Army Public Relations Officer, and then, of course, all fingers are crossed that he's just watching to see what will come out of it. But what he's hoping is for justice, that he should be compensated, and then justice should prevail. That it shouldn't be just announcement that the officer was arrested. That it has to be followed with action. That's what he just said in Hausa. Yeah.
Okay, finally, Manuel, I know he's actually bereaved, and this may not be a good time.
Stop asking all this your Dumbo question. The part I wanted you to see is just that. I mean, what was the life of Ismail Muhammad like? And we've heard that another promising soul cut short. Yeah, another promising lad, his life has been cut short, and 47 others too. By the way, 47 others have been killed in the last 7 days. Yesterday, the same murderous police, as well as their hired thugs, with the weakest thugs, attacked the protest in Port Harcourt, where they robbed the protesters, and therefore prompting them to say today they will stand and resist the police and the thugs, and if this is going to turn to a shootout, so be it. So I bring back to you, I bring for you, ladies and gentlemen, what was it like generally in Rivers State yesterday? This is from yesterday. It's quite an interesting watch, and a very, very interesting outing too. Let's go watch. It's a bit of a long watch, okay? But all from Rivers State. This is not Kano, not Kaduna, or any part of northern Nigeria. Here.
Sorry, let me see. must go. Everything's Tinubu must go.
No job. If they say we can't share flag, you can't share flag on Sunday where they announce. Enough is enough.
That was what went down in Rivers State, Port Harcourt to be precise, yesterday. And there is more. But this time I want you to listen to what the NNPC GMD had to say about the Dangote's allegation. And he just told Dangote, you would need to go and find your own crude oil as well. Forget about these things though. Well, yeah, was Mele Kyari appearing before a Senate committee investigating the allegations of sabotage by Dangote, that some people are sabotaging him. Here is the guy, the lead, the ringleader of the supposed people with the sabotage your own brother, Dangote. Meanwhile, what happened to that? I'm going to keep asking, I don't know everything. And when I don't know something, I ask questions, right? What happened to that oil, that crude oil they discovered in Bauchi and Gombe 2 years ago? You remember that one? I'll bring you the picture very soon. But listen to this guy. Yeah, just the defense of why Dangote is being sabotaged. If you can make any sense out of this, please.
And committed to the progress and development of this country. We are Nigerians. I'm not sure we like this country. We do not, Mr. Chairman. It is our duty to protect the overall interests of this country by the provisions of the law, Mr. Chairman. The Petroleum Industry Act, the Company and Allied Matters Act, and other enabling regulations and laws that govern the activity of the oil and gas industry. Mr. Chairman, we are not in breach of any one of them. Mr. Chairman, the NNPC is a company owned by over 200 million Nigerians. And I happen to be the chief executive of this company. And the law is clear around what the chief executive of this company will do. Our Memorandum Article of Association, the Petroleum Industry Act, and all other enabling, including CAMA, which was legislation by this Honorable National Assembly. They are clear that the board and management of NNPC must maximize value for this company, Mr. Chairman. This company cannot have negative profits for 3 years, the Kama said you can shut it down. Mr. Chairman, it's our job to protect this company, but it's also our job to protect other businesses around us. Mr. Chairman, let me be specific. And I will wait for the public hearing, and I also agree with my Honorable Minister that it should be broadcast live so that Nigerians will hear us, so that all the misinformation that you see today will be put beside, so that Nigerians will know the truth. And all of us here see what's happening in the media. Targeted personal attack on my person, on the institution. And we all know how this works. They are deliberate, they are calculated, so that create the impression that the NNPC Limited and our leadership are doing anything to create economic sabotage in our country. It is far from it, Mr. Chairman. This company has grown, Mr. Chairman. We're proud to say this. From a loss company for 43 years to a profit-making company today, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, it is very clear from everything you have said through this investigative hearing that you can see the majority of the issues you have raised have nothing to do with the NNPC Limited. Yet, everybody believes, by sheer misinformation which my minister has highlighted, the NNPC is responsible for creating any economic sabotage in our country. Mr. Chairman, refining business is straight business. You must secure your feedstock and you must secure a market. This is basic even for NNPC refineries. And this determines what happens in a refinery, any refinery for that matter. Let me stop straight to this, Mr. Chairman. It's a perfect opportunity also. Mr. Chairman, we have done nothing to sabotage any domestic refinery. Any one of them. There are many of them. Some of them are small scale. Mr. Chairman, but there's a law that guides everything we are doing. Mr. Chairman, the law is clear. My colleague from NNPC is here. There is domestic crude oil supply obligation. Yes, what it is saying is that process it locally, provide for local refinery, absolutely correct. But the law also says that there must be a willing buyer and a willing seller. It didn't say anything else. And perhaps the only way it cannot be solved is for this National Assembly to change the law. And I would not recommend this. Mr. Chairman, secondly, and more importantly, NNPC has nothing to do with imports of products that are substandard. It is very clear, Mr. Chairman, there are rules, there are regulators. We follow the rules. Nobody will bring product into this country that doesn't meet specifications. If it does happen, it's crime. It couldn't have passed through any regulatory institution. It is impossible. We all know what happens. Smuggling does take place. And I'm happy that the Customs Service is here. No one can deny that smuggling takes place across our border. But for PMS and every other commodity that I can think of, this is real. Mr. Chairman, when the details come, we will tell you what we know. Mr. Chairman, I suggest also that it should be set live so that everybody will hear what is going on in the industry. And perhaps responding to our Minister of Finance, the Coordinating Minister of Energy, we engage. Mr. Chairman, today this country is producing about 1.65 million barrels as of today. We have a clear target and a pathway, which is not just an NNPC-driven process, Mr. Chairman. You must put money before you can make money in the oil and gas industry. You must invest. You must have confidence of banks. And you must have confidence of investors. Today, Mr. Chairman, this National Assembly, both the House of Representatives and the Senate have set several committees to look at local refining, to look at crude oil theft, vandalism. It is very, very clear that until we address this, no one is going to put his money into the upstream. And that's why NNPC took it headlong. And got the support of Mr. President. Clearly, Mr. President understands that doing things different today, which is showing up, and I can share with you, Mr. Chairman, just a month and a half ago, we're actually down to almost 1.4 million barrels per day. It's simply an infrastructure unavailability issue associated with acts of vandals and oil thieves. Mr. Chairman, you will agree that NNPC is not a security organization. But yet, we got the support of Mr. President to set up an accelerated process of intervention, and it is paying off. You have to restore that confidence before you can talk about growth. Let me share something with you, Mr. Chairman. In the year 2020, during the COVID, Mr. Chairman, in one day, our production, without doing anything, we hit 2.47 million barrels per day, 17th of April, to be very specific, Mr. Chairman. And what happens? The thieves and the bandits went to sleep. Because there's nowhere to take it to. The market went to sleep. And we now know that without doing anything, we have such capacity. But you can't achieve this until you are able to arrest the situation that is on the ground. And I'm happy that this investigation will also bring back part of the reports, I'm sure, of previous Senate committee reports that we have seen, Mr. Chairman. And at the right time, we'll give you all the details. We'll take you through it. You will see the challenges that we are dealing with.
Allow me. Ó ṣòfò ni Mele Kyari, ó ṣòfò tọmọtọmọ ni. Tí òfò bá ṣì wà available, òfò ẹ̀ oníṣẹ́ lomi, wà ṣòfò tìrọ̀tìrọ̀ ni. You know something? That criminal 5 years ago, 2019, 2024, yeah, told Nigerians this.
The legitimate expectation from Nigerians that why can we be an oil-producing country with 4 refineries and yet importing sometimes 100% of our petroleum product requirement? It's very sad. The GMD Emeritus has told you the steps that we have taken when the Port refinery is going to be in place. But I assure you, GMD will follow it up to make sure that within the life of this administration, before Baba's tenure ends in 2023, we'll deliver only 4 refineries. The legitimate expectation.
Nuisance lele.
So that's the guy there now. Under him, under Bokwari, they spent $1.5 billion on Port Harcourt Refinery. Only for them to turn on the generator and told us that, the Port Harcourt Refinery is back to life. But they take 1.5 billion naira buy generator just to turn on the generator, put the light, change the bulbs. They change the bulbs, they put the generator on, and they have $1.5 billion dollars. Today, Nigeria has no single working refinery. When these criminals came in 9 years ago, Nigeria had 4 working refineries, working at 60% capacity. That was why Jonathan was only spending about 900 billion naira a year on subsidy. And he was going to remove that because he remembered that it was a pure scam meant from few clique of people. And the people that rose against him are those in power now, who now remove the subsidy. Who are now paying triple, quadruple. In fact, they are now paying 900 billion that Jonathan was paying a year. That's what they are now paying a month for the same subsidy. No? Yeah. Another thing, this is a reminder though, okay, that the Kenyans have not really hung up their boots. Those of you who have been following them for the past 2.5 months. This is to remind you that Ruto until he goes, right? Ruto still not having it any easy anytime soon. This is from today. CBD in Nairobi.
the police force that not a police service. If we see unidentified men in civilian clothing riding in government vehicles that have obfuscated qualities, we shall treat them as robbers. We shall treat them as thieves. We shall treat them as criminals. I want to assure all the Kenyans that we have not gathered here today in vain. Viva, comrades, viva! Viva! We assure Kenyans that we will not see those madmen on the streets. We have gotten to the point in this country where we even have Caucasians wielding arms on the streets. Tutakubali sakata. Tomorrow, as we march towards a new republic, I want to assure you that the spirit of the Kenyan youth remains unbowed. Viva comrades, viva! Viva comrades, viva! Viva comrades, viva! We shall march for our rights, and tomorrow we shall liberate this country.
Viva comrades, viva! Viva! Naitwa Davis Safari, natoka Dandora. Na kesho ni siku ya kuchukua nchi yetu. Na tunasema ya kwamba tunajua vijana wetu wa ghetto wamekuwa wakitumika kama goons. Kesho ni siku ya kukataa na kusema ya kwamba hizo pesa wamekuwa wakiiba, wanakuja kutulipa nazo, twende tuibie Wakenya wenzetu. Tumekataa hiyo jinga ya tumekataa. Na kesho ni sisi Wakenya wote tutashikana kutoka Mathare, kutoka Dandora. Kisumu, Mombasa, hadi hadi Nitamana tutiishi. Na turudi nyuma, the problem the people. Ruto, the best thing you can do, you step up and resign leo. Before
they're insisting Ruto must go. You cannot kill us and still rule us. It's not going to happen. You would not have it easy. The political class in Kenya, they took advantage of the protest to shortchange the protesters, hoping that was it. It's all over. No, it's not over. They've not stopped their protest until they've got a lot from their demands, but they want everything they demanded for. And finally, Ruto must resign and leave. Something that Ruto is not considering. And he's still sending his soldiers, his military and policemen to go after the protesters. So that hasn't really deterred them. Nigeria, these Kenyans have done over 2 months with their own discovered the dictator, tyrant, Ruto. You have just dealt with thiefnubu for just a week. No, that's not enough. That is why, according to everyone in Nigeria participating in the protest continues. Today is day 8, by the way. And then some snippets from out there.
be here seeing a police officer who is going out on the basis of it that is securing us, and they are not well paid. They are not well paid. All of us are struggling in this nation because some people amass so much wealth for themselves. And this protest is not for only me. It's not for only those of us that are going out. It's for all of us. It's for the betterment of Yoruba, Igbo, and Hausa. It's for the betterment of the tout, of the low class, of the middle class, and of the rich. So the so-called tout does not have any right to tell me to go away from talking about my father's land and his fatherland. The same thing that he's claiming for is the same thing. So we don't want to be violent. That is why we are here peacefully. But tomorrow we will be here by God's grace, and we hope that our security men, you can see we have beautiful faces here in our security who are ready to support us, who are ready to give us that same opportunities that our leaders that are investing our money in Abuja are also benefiting from. We want freedom, we want peace. We can't continue this way. Yes. Enough is enough.
Our fight.
And our fight is not against everybody. Our fight is against good governance of this country.
Every civil servant will benefit from it. If the strike becomes better than this,
Our educational system is not working. The new policy thrust of the federal government is not working. They have to understand that. It is their problems. It is their program that has caused all this problem. On your behalf, I'm telling Mr. President Tinubu to change his policy because it's not working.
Governor Bala Mohammed said with this current situation in the country, the PDP will easily bounce back to power in 2027.
If he continues like this, in 2027, I will invite him to be our campaign director because everywhere will be PDP. And we are going to win because it will be a self-inflicted injury.
On the federal government,
I have heard, and with regrettable attention, some of the ministers of the federal government are saying that we have been given 70 trucks. We have been given 500 and something million. How much did the federal government make? What have they done with it? Why should they bring a policy that is causing pain?
the governor used the occasion.
Anyway, I just picked a few things from the streets this morning, because what I actually really want to share with you is just to have a wider sort of coverage on all happenings away from just the protests that we've been covering for the past 7 days. So this evening, I will bring you, trust me now, I'll bring you the details of how it went. On the 8th, today is the 8th day of Days of Rage, 10 days of rage. So they've done 8. And well, they are currently undergoing the 8th day. Here is a clip that made it to the internet this morning, and it was between the Nigerian Minister of Women Affairs, Uju Kennedy, in a shouting match at an event somewhere in Abuja, I believe. So they said that Uju was upset that the organizers of that event were impersonating her. I don't understand, but I saw the clip. I'll share it with you. Here.
And I'm sitting out there. That makes it difficult. So that's why I'm standing here to explain this to everyone. She has been arrested. So that means she should have reorganized herself, used her name to make the invitation, and used her name to do this, not to use Federal Minister of Women Affairs. I can't allow this program to do. I'm sorry about it. because this is pure impersonation and the president is not happy about it. I'm saying it, let the media cover it. You don't care. You don't do this. You don't take the ministry for granted. For what?
You heard about a program called For Women, and they now used Ministry of Women Affairs, like in conjunction with Ministry of Women Affairs. She heard about it. She wasn't invited. So she jumped into a car, drove to the venue, took over the stage. To the shock of the participants in that program, they're like, oh, the minister is here. Grabbed this, got her security to arrest the organizers and accused them of impersonation, that she did not approve this. So how dare you use the Ministry of Women Affairs? That's impersonation. Mr. President is not happy. I am not happy. So that made it to the internet. You can do whatever you want with that. Trust me. But here is one clip. I don't know if I should share this now or I should just leave it because of the time, right? But I think I will share it. Whatever time is left, we can use that to, to take calls. Yesterday, I shared with you the views of Oke Bakassi on the current state of Nigeria, right? I didn't share everything. So I got my hand on the whole gist. And I've decided to share it in full again. If you have seen it yesterday, great. It was an interesting conversation, but you should see the rest, right? So let's go and get that on. Talking about the development of things in Nigeria as we speak, the protests, the bad governance, the criminals in government, the abuses of human rights, and those calling for Peter Obi to be like a strong macho man. It's purposely, the gist was purposely about why people shouldn't drag Peter Obi into them fighting thiefnubu the way Kenneth was proposing. But there is more, he said. So I'm going to share the whole full gist. It's quite long, right? I promise you it's not going to be boring. Yeah, I do. Let's get started with that.
Nigerians, Lagos! It's Lagos Talks 91.3 FM.
The CEO is in the building.
Yes. Kola Wale is in the building. He has always been.
Yes.
All right, wonderful people. Yeah, it is Wednesday in this beautiful city of Lagos. All right, and it's okay with Okay and the Wise Men of Comedy is the show. This is the CEO of the people, Oke Bakassi, in the building. All right, wherever you are, I know the traffic is a lot because I just survived one and I'm here.
Through it every day.
Yeah, I go through it, people. All right. So if you're in traffic, just stay there and enjoy it. We're here for you. We're here to make you prefer the traffic. That is what we do on the show. This is the show where we discuss serious issues seriously. That's what we do here. All right? Yeah, there are serious issues, but we don't want them to stress you too much. Because life is so stressful. So there are very serious issues, but we'll make them light. Yeah. Just for your own consumption. It's like digesting it before you finally digest it.
Exactly.
Yeah, So we'll make the process of digestion very easy for you.
It's like crushing meat for a baby to eat.
Exactly. It's like crushing meat for a baby to eat. You get it, Kolawole. So that's what we do here. We'll simplify it. We'll break it down. Then we'll make it. Because if you take it the way it is, if we give you high blood pressure, if we give you small headache, you know what I mean? So we'll make it simple. Simplify.
See you in the building.
Yeah. That's what we do.
Yeah.
So a lot of things have been happening. Okay, let's just take from what Kolawole was doing with the callers I'm going to today's thing, because I hear lots of opinion. But Kenneth, Barrister Ken, my colleague, what he said about P2B, though I've not had time really to digest that information. You have, I guess, and people are responding to it. Some are for and some are against. You know, I like what the female caller who sent in a voice note, you know, she applied some wisdom. You know, what I see is that sometimes there's a bit of a disconnect between Nigerians who live in Nigeria, who see everything that we go through every day, and Nigerians who are abroad, who are not in the front lines, like those of us who are here. They are seeing it. Fortunately for me, I get the opportunity to be here and there sometimes. So I gauge, I gauge the pulse of our people who are in diaspora versus we who are here in the line of fire. And so I understand it when they don't get a full understanding of the situation on ground.
So, Cecile, what's the average,
and how government works?
Mentality of someone a Nigerian who lives in the diaspora when it comes to politics and, agitations and governance?
Okay, so there are different levels to it. There are different types of Nigerians who live in diaspora. If permit me to use that word, for lack of a better word. Now, there are Nigerians who live in diaspora by virtue of they were born there, they've been there for almost their lives. They only visit here on holiday. All right? They are in touch with their Nigerian culture and they like it. They listen to Nigerian news. They wish, like all of us, that Nigeria can be better. So you have those people. Now, you have Nigerians in diaspora who just got there and they are still trying to settle down. So their Nigerianness is still pretty much in them. They know how home was before they left. They can still remember because it has not been long they left. They are still trying to integrate themselves. So they are still the wow factor of abroad life. You understand? Seeing the mass transit, how efficient it is. You understand? The 24-hour power supply, the regular water, that you can live in a decent environment and you're not super rich. So they are still wowed by this factor. You still have that class of Nigerians. The other class, they've been there since. So those ones, they are used to it. All right? This one's just left. They are still trying to integrate. All right? How they talk about Nigeria, it varies.
Depending on their situation.
Depending on their situation. Then you still have Nigerians who just go on holiday, like those of us who just go, stay small, come back here. You can't really call us diaspora people because we are mainly here more than we are there. So all these people, one thing they have in common is that they are people of Nigerian descent, and the other thing they have in common is that all of them want Nigeria to be a better place because they really want to come here and feel at home. Just the way they feel comfortable in those places. But when it comes to the understanding of Nigerian politics and how it works, you cannot compare their experience to that of those who are in the front line.
Well,
you understand? What they are getting is the residual wahala that is coming from here. So people from here calling them all the time to ask for help and ask for money and all that. Yeah, and give them information about Nigeria, bad it is, and the things that they see in the news. All right, that is what they get. Be like who they hear. Those of us who they hear, let me go into the matter so that I don't deviate too long. Those of us who are here, it's easy to nudge a Peter Obi-like person to say, look, your opposition, play your opposition now. After all, these people in power played the opposition. They were sponsors and masterminds of protest when they were in opposition. They will call out the whole Nigeria if possible to come and protest when they were in opposition. Today they are in government. Yeah, they think that protest, it's a bad thing. But this was what they were known for and did all through their political career against other governments. You understand? So it's easy to say, okay, now Peter Obi and the rest of you, you guys are also in opposition now. Do the same thing back to them. All right? But we live in strange times. Yeah? Maybe I'm biased, but I can tell you that if the PDP were bad as a government, the APC is worse for democracy. As somebody who has lived here.
And experienced the two.
Yeah, I've experienced the two political parties. At least we have seen APC for 8 years. We can, all of us now, if we want to be very honest with us, we have seen APC for 8 years. We saw PDP for 16 years. We have seen APC for only 8 years. You can compare the two, and I can tell you my personal opinion, quote me, okay, Bakassi, that the APC is worse for democracy more than the PDP. And I'll give you my reasons. Under the PDP government, there were several protests. Several. People could speak, question certain things, protests. Yeah? Since Buhari came in, the most that has happened is NSAS. And you know how it ended. You know how NSAS ended. Yeah? Till today, lots of question marks. You get? And if you use economic indices to measure it, it has been a downward trend for human capital development since that time. Things have been on a decline. By whether you want, anyhow you want to take economic indices, take check them. You understand? But we are in so basically right now there are more reasons to even protest than before. But the experts in protest are the people now in power. And the people who understand.
The experts.
Them now, their work now. I participated in some of the protests they organized now. Like the one we occupied Ojota for to resist fuel subsidy removal. Which they came now and removed. First they said it's gone. Some said it's gone. They removed it. Now we are hearing it's partially removed. We don't even know which one it is. Whether it's gone or it's not gone. So that is how confused we are now. And I believe with these few points of mind, you can understand that these guys are worse for us when you compare those two people. You know, we can't even, I don't want to go into foreign exchange rate and all that. Now, when you nudge people, yeah, even when it comes to election results and announcement, you will agree that this last election was the worst that we have seen. Yeah, it's just like being in a football match where they play match, on a score goal. Then bring out scoreboard. They award the goal. Nigeria.
See, okay, Bakasi. Yeah, that's one part that wasn't part of what I shared with you yesterday, okay? But the analogy of you scoring a goal in a match, in a football match, and that same goal is recorded for your opponents and all that, right? And if you don't agree, go to court. I'll let you finish the remaining parts. Just again. Thank you.
To the opponent. Una score, shall go. Una go.
Now go check board.
Una go. They wait, make the other people who wanna score pass ball. They say no, na go pass. You say no, now we score. They say no, na go pass. You know they see scoreboard. You say, but this scoreboard is not a reflection of what they have. They say, go to court.
Go to the FA.
If you don't like it, report to the FA. You think say that play, my brother. That's so he stand. They carry trophy, give people who own score good. You understand? But you see, these are the things happening in Nigeria now. Now, this is a country where, I'll give you an example. Somebody like Nnamdi Kanu. Yeah? They lock him. APC lock him since Buhari.
It's not 2021.
APC lock him. Tina, how many people have died in the southeast over all manner of protests and lockdown and no movement and all those things? The people will and see Holamo. And nobody do anything. You get? Good. So you want now make Peter come out, go lead protests. Then go hold up. Then more people go die again for Southeast over nothing. The rest of the country go, they move around, they live their life. Una go talk for maybe 1 week.
Once in a while, you remember.
Once in a while, una remember. Then they gonna say, you know, say they, as in they do sit at home on Mondays for Nnamdi Kanu. Maybe they're going to do sit at home on Tuesdays for P2P. Yeah? How many weeks remain for my people to take go market? How many people remain for my people to take go market?
2 days off the working days.
Then immediately when I talk for night, say no, on P2P we stand. They go give some of our leaders money. They will come talk, say na Igbo people, na know what me na progress. The same thing here, they go come talk, say na Igbo people, if I me na kuku they go. You understand? You know, say Igbo people na default setting for blame for everything. If you talk too much, they say they go do Oro for 1 year. You know? So this is the reality of the Nigeria that we live in now. We cannot be making those kind of careless mistakes again. Your enemy set trap for you, you just go walk into them. If you were in this country when MK Abiola ran for election, he was supported massively by people across board. We in the Southeast, we voted as well. Everybody voted. MKO won. They are not do the result as they do, annulled it. The whole country, we were all angry. People say, MK Abiola, defend your mandate. We are with you. Defend your mandate. We are with you. Declare yourself president. In brothers, push on. MKO declare himself. Then carry on, we check on, lock up. Some of the people where they in power now follow supporter. Eh? Now they tell you, when they talk history, because when people they talk sometimes they forget history. They lock MKO. Like play, the man die for prison. They say, if that man, anything happen to him, Nigeria will board, Nigeria will catch fire. The man is gone. With him not being there, his businesses suffered. His family suffered. The loss of, at least, if not for anything, the loss of their family head. Nigeria see they here. Some of the people were support him, don't occupy government position. His legacy now, then they remember her. No. I don't know what
maybe they just changed the Democracy Day.
To waiting.
They changed it to the day he won the election.
They were call him MK Abiola Day. Not be here, me and you, the University of Lagos. Yeah. They say, good luck Jonathan say in remembrance of MK Abiola, let us honor him by naming the university after him. The people say no. Remember. They say no, don't change our university to MK Abiola. The same MKO.
No, they're kids. You know this one's a kid. We're not.
The same MKO.
We're not old when.
No, I'm just saying now. Okay. And they tell you history now. Okay. The same MKO that was loved, that went to defend his mandate, and they locked him up, and he died. They said, name university in memory of him. His people say no. Now you want Peter Obina to just go and die. The small candidate where we see, where we help. No, Peter should just stay away from protests. Stay away from all the traps set by human beings. You understand? Let him just be alive.
But so is that what Kenneth Okonkwo is actually?
So I don't know what Kenneth is driving at. But so for me, you understand? I don't know what Kenneth is trying to achieve. But I don't think Kenneth is in a very good position to make utterances about Peter, his profile, his direction, his wisdom, his capacity, his strength. And Kenneth is nowhere in position to make all those ones. And I'll tell you my reason. Kenneth has not won any election in Nigeria. Okay. He's my colleague. He's an actor lawyer. I'm an actor engineer. Yeah? He never win any election before. Peter Obi has won election twice. He was 2-term governor of Anambra State.
And he went to court.
Yeah? He has survived trials and tribulation to the electoral process. They impeach him. He go court, win him mandate back. If now fight, the guy has shown fight. The guy went into a race 8 months before time and was able to put up a fight for the first time. Any candidate who does not belong to a major party won Abuja and Lagos. The 2 seats of government of action in Nigeria. He won it. There has never been a president that has been president without winning those 2 places. He won those 2 places. To show how his spread is. Abuja is northern part. Lagos is western part. You understand what I'm saying? He took those 2 states that INEC cannot deny. You get? So the man has proved himself as a fighter, as a people mobilizer, as a person with integrity, as a person where you fit say, I go stand behind you, whether money day or money no. So you don't get anything to prove to Kenneth. Kenneth never even win one election. But they carry and go court main defender successfully. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. So you to say the man lacks the, you cannot say that. I know Peter personally. He was at my 50th birthday. He was one of my guests at my 50th birthday. He's a strong man. Forget his soft voice. You understand? He's a man that is equal to other men. But when you approach Nigerian politics, you approach with wisdom. And history will tell you that people have gone. Bola Ige died here till tomorrow. Nigerian state never find who. Harry Marshall died in River State. Till today we see the talk story. Yeah? The one where they named this street after I'm here. No. Williams.
Williams. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
He died in Lagos State. Yeah, we see the talk story. You understand what I'm saying? You will now add Peter to the list. If I be Peter, if Peter even tries, sit there. Peter sit there around. If I go there somewhere, they take breeze. Can we just move to another thing? Find me another topic. I tell you.
Okay. You're listening to
Bakasi. Again, I said it's an interesting gist, interesting convo, and it was never going to be boring. It wasn't. We blame the Igbos by default. And this generation of young people, people from other parts of Nigeria are beginning to see the generational sort of Cold War, the enemies that they wanted us to inherit, their fight that they wanted us to inherit all across board. And guess what? Gen Z are beginning to say, oh, if he been a Yoruba planned the 1966 coup, can't blame the Igbos. If you witness what happened in 2023, yeah, how thiefnubu, so the person that started Muslim tickets, then turned it around and then blamed the Igbos. That the Igbos, so they hated Nigeria because thiefnubu is choosing a Muslim. We think concern the Igbos. If you choose a Babalawas, we think concern them. They now said because an Igbo man was also contesting, they said the Igbo man, Peter Obi, is bringing religious division to Nigeria. And they pushed it and pushed it and pushed it, that you have the Omualele Yorubas who are helping them to say the same thing. In Nigeria, they usually kind of lie to themselves. Muslims, Christian, Muslim, Christian, Christian, Muslim, okay? Well, APC called a bluff. You all witnessed it. Muslim tickets in a country like Nigeria. Then they blamed the Igbos for criticizing Muslim tickets. So rather than people get mad with APC, Egbe that pushed Muslim tickets, in a supposed secular country like Nigeria, they blame the Igbos for telling people to hate it or reject it because they hate other people who are not Igbos. They are still pushing it. Listen to this. Just the same last year. I don't know if you remember this or you will deny it. I'm supposed to put it on your screen. When Onaofunnuga said, let 2023 be the last time of Igbo interference in Lagos politics. Let there be no repeats in 2027. Lagos is like Anambra, Imo, any Nigerian state. It is not no man's land, not Federal Capital Territory. It is Yoruba land. Mind your business. That was how deep that bigotry, how massive it was. It was like institutionalized. But guess those they blamed for being intolerant and this or that? The Igbos. Now some people now say, oh, if you been I'm not saying that because we know the history. We have it here. The 1966 coup was neither Igbo coup, nor Hausa coup, nor Fulani or Yoruba coup. These were some Nigerian soldiers who saw through the ethnic politics of those ones you called your founding fathers. The level of politics of hatred that continue to divide or will divide the country further. They thought they could stop it. They claim to be patriotic. You have the Yorubas, you have the Hausas, you have the Fulanis, you have the Igbos among them. But how did that then turn to Igbo, this Igbo ku? Because the Yoruba Lagos Ibadan Expressway Media House, they continue to push that narrative. 1966 is Igbo coup. Igbos killed our leaders. We will kill Igbos. Politicians who were pushing all of that are still alive. So many of them have actually reincarnated themselves enough in so many younger people. Guess what? A lot of people are discovering a lot today. And they are like, if you even be Yoruba coup, may not even be anything, because and this is a Gen Z and his own discovery.
Real quick, make I do this video. I have finally come to conclusion that Igbos were not the one that plotted the 1966 coup. Yes, no be Igbos. Now let me explain why I said so. Few months ago, the Igbos were online saying they are not going to protest. Like, they make them known to everybody that we are not going to protest. We are not joining any protest. Fast forward to earlier this week, or last week, I see a whole lot of Yoruba men online flooding the internet with a video saying the Igbos are the one calling for protest. Then I was shocked, like, these people know the online since they see videos. I even see some Yoruba people that was attacking Igbo people, making videos attacking Igbo people that, why won't you people vote? Why won't you people protest? Why you people protest? All of us are suffering. You don't want to protest. And now all of a sudden, you people tag them as the people that are calling for the protest. So how much more? This one is happening right in front of us, like right in our eyes. We all know that the Igbos are not the one calling for protest. Why are they pinning it on the Igbos? So this made me come to conclusion that the 1960 coup was carried out by the Yorubas, and because it was not successful, they quickly pin it on the Igbos. Yes, that is what happened. I talk with my full chest. Now what happened? Now Yorubas plotted the 1960 coup. It was because it wasn't successful. That was the reason why it was pinned on the Igbos. Yes, to wash them clean. Yes, that was what happened. Because you can't tell me that you are saying right in front of you. Okay, make I show you now the video. Watch this video. Watch this video.
Mai ya ƙara kuɗi ba a yi magana akan ƙara kuɗin mai ba, an ce kan mu yi zanga-zanga, jiya wasu sun fito sun yi zanga-zanga ba wanda ya musu magana, sai mu mun fito yau an ce ba za mu yi ba amma za mu haƙura.
So now after seeing videos like this and see the Northerners always calling for protest, always calling for protest, you still pin it on the Igbos? You don't do too much. Make una reduce the hatred. Make una reduce them. Make una reduce the hatred. I beg. You don't do too much. And another thing I want to say is that Yoruba, you people are cowards. I be Yoruba, but I'm a real son of Yoruba. I know the fear. Una we know the great talk truth when una see truth. Una no be Yoruba. Now una be that bastard when una they always call me. Una na be that. Are you people scared to feed the Northerners? Okay, now Igbo people na hand feel rich. Now why they always call out Igbo people? Now no they see all those Northerners where they call out for protest. What you don't do? Nothing. You have done nothing to that. But you are quick to call the Igbos are the one calling for protest. Igbos are the one calling for protest. When Igbos call for protest? When? How? Where? Just like that. Igbos are the one calling for protest. Una need change this mentality when una get, when una want the pin, or every bad thing where they happen around the world, una want pin them to Igbo people. It's no good. Make una stop them. Make una stop them. This one now, una no go feel like say, una no see them. Igbo don't talk since day one, say they know they protest. The Northerners are the one calling for protest. Go and meet them. Stop doing as if you don't. Face your fears. Face your fears. The Northerners are the one calling for protest. Face your fears. And the most delusional thing I've heard any Yoruba man saying online is, if it's Igbo man now, they will not protest. If it's Hausa man now, they will not protest. It is because it's Yoruba man that was there. That is the reason they want to protest. I want to ask a question. Under which regime did they do Operation Occupy Nigeria? The protest Occupy Nigeria was under which regime? Good Lord Jonathan. NSAS protest was under which regime? Buhari. So how they no protest under other people this thing, they won't come protest for it. You people are too delusional. Now Yoruba people now una carry protest for head. Enter so occupy Nigeria now una carry protest for head. Now una no fit chop wetin una dey dish to others. Una dey fear.
God bless you, brother. I think somehow we are seeing the product of the temple of truth. People speaking what a lot of you are aware of, and you'll be wondering like, oh, are you a member? Are you a Templar on the Temple of Truth? I say, no. Oh yeah, I am. Do you listen to Maiyegun? Yes, I do. So the generation that will not be lied to, they are here already. The generation that I set up my platform for, they are already receiving it already. More of them will know that you will not be able to lie to them. You will not be able to deceive them and socially condition them like you did to our parents and to us. Do you understand? So that generation will come. Your pastors and all their lies will not work on them. It's not working. Anyway, majority of them are not interested in your religion anymore anyway. Yeah, that's the point. We are breeding a generation that will not be lied to or deceived by the tribal, ethnic, and other nonsense to distract them from facing their real problem. The criminals making decisions for them. I am happy. When I saw that video, I was like, yes. I love you, bro. Tell them. Don't let anybody call you Omoale. Those calling you Omoale because of thiefnubu are the real Omoale. See what they have turned the Yoruba youth into. This is what they want us to be. All our children. As long as we remain this way, then we can shout Eureka to the criminals, destroying the lives of the young people in Yoruba land. This one, Abolao. This one, every completed project, any property, we get anything, metal, rod, he will destroy it, take the iron and go sell. He's a Yoruba man. And he's also a twins. He's Taye.
Start. Your name is?
Abdulrahim Taye.
Okay.
You are from which state?
Kwara State.
Kwara State. When did you come to Lagos?
2 years ago.
2 years ago. Who carried you come Lagos? Nobody. Where are you living?
I'm living for Malamasan for that opposite side. But I don't come over there now. I don't live on the first beach.
What happened yesterday? This morning, around 3.
No, I don't care. I just pass control of that beach. I see you around here when you come outside for that beach. I just stood there and saw you and you can.
Around 12 midnight.
Yeah.
Now you want to remove the iron from the bridge.
No, I see the iron there. No, I can't see my hand. Grab the iron.
You want to remove them?
Yes.
To go and sell?
Yes.
You want to sell to who?
I just want to sell to all these Aboki pass here.
Have you ever said to anyone to Aboki?
No.
Why do you want to remove it?
As I see, I'm really day off.
Is it your own?
No, sir.
It's for who? Federal government?
Yes.
Do you know that it's an offense? You don't know that it's an offense to remove something for federal government? Eh? Who are you selling those things to?
Sir.
Who are you selling those iron to?
This is first time, sir.
Why are you out? Why did you out on in the night like this? Around 12 midnight?
No, I want to go just to 12 now. I want to go buy food.
Buy food for where?
Huh?
Buy food for where?
The first gate. This is what I said.
You pass, okay, did you know from Maza?
No, I'm staying in Maza at before. But now, I'm staying for Festa Beach. From Festa Beach, I want to go buy food for first gate.
Which side do they live? Link Bridge?
Festa Beach.
Where do they live? Which side?
That place is the Sata where you just build a new Paco house.
Who say you said they don't iron there?
For that place, just start at that place, you just build Paco house and now building Paco house.
Your own, you go prison, no? Yeah? It's an offense. But those things are federal government that have it. Thank you.
He's a vandal. And then, of course, you can look at him and know that he's He's hungry. And that doesn't, listen, that shouldn't, excuse for whatever he's done, right? But I promise you, that's exactly what they want for the young people in Yoruba land and across Nigeria. And there are millions like him, that guy that you just saw there. There are millions exactly like him, scattered all over Nigeria. Struggling, no opportunity, no education, no skill, no nothing. Just out there, hustling, as they call it. Hustling. That was how MC Olueron entered Lagos, just so you know. Koko Zaria, you know that Koko Zaria with MC Olueron? It was like that too when he followed the bus to Lagos. Years, you say like 20 years after that, he is a multimillionaire, Agbero. So that guy probably, is one of the unlucky ones. MC Olueron is also from Kwara State. And there are many like that in Lagos. Thugs, touts, criminals, and they call them hustlers. Then to legitimize them, they joined politics. And when they join politics, they get protected. The more violent they are, the more money they make in that mega shitty. I'm just saying, that's a Yoruba man. That's a very Yoruba young man whose lives has been stolen by the criminals, paying that one that is recording him. And yeah, these are just the petty criminals whose style of criminality endangers lives. When you vandalize public property like bridges, like roads, you put the lives of people in danger. But they have pushed so many like that, like him, into the abject poverty. No education, no skills, no nothing. They're just there existing, living up, scavenging, hustling people. And you really want me to kind of look at your criminal leaders, and say, I should respect. You need to show some respect to our leaders. Because this, that kind of a video, I am not angry at that guy. No. I am more upset, really, really enraged by the system that ensure that a life of a young man and you know why? It's not even just him I'm looking at. I'm looking at other tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands, or tens of millions of them who are also trapped like that. Young people, they will never reach their potential in life, ever. They are in their millions. A Yoruba young man, a Yoruba man, the region that got education before the rest of Nigeria, in the real sense, Abba. It's a region that got its own, I'm talking about advancement now, a region that got its own first television station, not just in Africa, even before France, a colonial power. We were so advanced, we were meant to actually really be great until Yoruba land took over government, collaborated with Nigeria to destroy the lives of our young people. Few will make it, majority will not. That is not something of pride. When you see people parading themselves as leaders of this, leaders of Yoruba, my stomach turns. Do you understand what that means? My stomach turns. And I really, really wish I have some power. And I'm looking forward to that day when I will be closer, or people like myself will be closer to some level of power, not your political power, fuck that. Some level of power that we will have to give what is called the retribution to these rogues, destroying the lives of our young people in Yoruba land. I'm not upset at you. If you come here to abuse me in your wretched life, I'm not even angry at you. No, I'm not. I shouldn't be angry at you. When I look at some of you who are defending this Olori Brukus, the druggie for a certificate forger, and the rest of them, I am not supposed to get mad at you. I'm supposed to get mad at the system that created you and then turned you to the danger, not only to other people, even to yourselves. I've seen it happen many times. It's unfortunate. Right. I think I have half an hour that I can give out just to take calls and call it a noon before the evening, right? Thank you so much for joining my TED Talk, right? I am going to be back in a minute. I'll take calls, but just for half an hour. So if you are here to be part of that, the number is on your screen. And if you are leaving, please like the broadcast. Hear it, eh? Thank you. Thank you very much. I have a caller on the line, which I'm going to connect you in a sec, by the way. Please, if you are one of those still interested in joining us in Glasgow from the 23rd of August to the 25th of August, the link in booking, the link to book your own place on Eventbrite is in the comment. Please use it. Okay. Here is my first caller. Hello. Oh, I lost him, I think.
Hello.
Oh, you're there. Great.
Hello, Maiyegun. How are you?
I am very well, sir. So sorry. I thought I lost you.
Yeah, it's me. Yeah. You're good. Yeah. I'm good also. It's still your friend Tyson. Tyson from Birmingham, yeah.
Yeah, I saw him earlier. I was like, oh yeah, that's Tyson. How is Birmingham today, by the way?
Yeah, Birmingham is a bit better now because it was a bit rowdy 2 days ago.
I know.
I was almost caught up in that. But fortunately, Birmingham is mostly Asians.
That's right.
So they were able to push them back immediately.
Oh, so to your advantage then, right?
Yeah,
to
our advantage.
I saw it on the news.
Yeah. But they pushed them back on that one now. They pushed them back immediately.
And we saw
they pushed them
level of, I saw it in the news as well yesterday.
Yeah.
But now that, a lot of people are standing up now, right?
Yeah, I know. They're standing up to them. They're pushing them back. It's very, very, very easy. Yeah. So thank you very
so
much again for what you're doing.
Yes,
thank you very, very much for what you're doing. I had wanted to call you before the start of the what we call protest. You understand?
Sir.
The situation in Nigeria, like I told you, anytime I call you, that I've been in a family where most of them have been in the military, and most of them have been politicians also.
Right.
So I can read in between the lines. You understand? The way this works in Nigeria. Nigeria is a different terrain.
Honestly.
Sometimes people compare Nigerian youth to the one that is happening. Is it Tanzania or what? Kenya?
Even Kenya or Bangladesh, recent one.
Compare yourself compare Nigerian youth. How many times have you worked in a factory in this country? How many Kenyans do you see?
Not many.
Not many. Thank you. Because most of them are professional.
No, if you ever seen them at all.
Thank you. If you ever seen them, thank you. Because their orientation is far, far different from our own orientation. What happened in Kenya cannot happen in Nigeria.
They can't take it that long.
Two different people. Two different set of people entirely. You may say it's happening, you know, it's going to happen in Nigeria. I'm not saying it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen with planned protest. It's not going to happen. Things might just change, but it's going to be a cosmetic approach. Cosmetic approach means government will patch it here, fix it there, put the hole there. There will be holes here and there. They'll patch it up, but there is holes inside the basket. They will always do that. Oh, let's do inquiry. Let's go do this. It's not going to go anywhere. The way I see it, on a personal note, is two ways that is going to happen.
Okay.
This will continue like this because let me tell you something. 99% of Nigerians are rogues. 99% of us. 99%. Don't let anybody know we are the temple of truth. They talk today, they talk tomorrow. Is it not people that have been shouting in Lagos? All of them are in now. Is it not people that they see? That's the way it's going to work. One day, what will happen is number one. Look at the way it's happening in Bangladesh. These are less educated people. Once revolution starts from less informed people, even most of them on the street don't even know why they are on the street. You see, the government cannot control such. The same thing that is happening in the north. Because they are not enlightened. They are not educated. But in the southern part of Nigeria, eastern part of Nigeria, we're a bit educated and enlightened. So we look at different dimensions to it. Oh, is the opposition that is sponsoring, is the Igbo man, because Yoruba man is there now. But in the north, they don't think like that. No. These are people that are on the street. I was watching the video of the man that the son was killed, the 16-year-old. What did he say? He said, oh, we're waiting for the investigation. They've given me 300,000. I want them to compensate me. Can you, as a Yoruba man, you lost a son. Can you talk of compensation?
No, no way.
Thank you. Because in the north, they are less educated. What you just want, because it's the Muslim mentality or Islam mentality.
Yeah, you know.
God has given, God has taken. Thank you.
I know.
So it's different from the south. Thank you. Where you think critically. You see. So, but the way the south is also going now, the way the south is also going now, we are getting more and more people impoverished and less educated.
That's right.
It will get to a stage. You know, most of the boys now in Nigeria, most of the boys, they are on colos.
Unfortunately.
The girls are doing
too. And they are also
doing hookup. Thank you.
Prostitution that they call wrongs.
Prostitution.
It's really pandemic right now, like endemic.
It's pandemic right now. So it will get to a stage. It may not be 10 years. It may not be 15 years. You understand? It will get to a stage.
Continue this way.
Thank you. If you continue this way, they will get there. This thing will just happen one day. You just hear that Nigeria is on fire. Once it's on fire, you will see people like Traore.
Imagine.
In each tribe that will emerge. You see, Traore is just unfortunate that he's in a military khaki. The civilian people are like that. You see one or two will emerge from each tribe. And they will just say, we are going our own way. So. They'll just make pronouncements.
That we are done.
While Why these ones run away? The old cargoes will run away. That's number one. Number two, because most of us are now in the Western world. We're having our children here. We're having our families here, even the one that we brought from abroad. But this our generation. Yeah, we have Zili, or what's it called? Okonje-Iweala. They are still our generation. It is still the corrupt generation. It is still the corrupt generation. So maybe in 50 years, when the ones that we have here, they will start going into big world organizations like the UNO, the WTO, the this thing and that. One day, they will call for a peaceful resolution. It should just be, okay, they will engage the UN. They'll just engage the UN. We want our country back. This is this on the table. This is this on the table. The UNers will have no choice because they are more, these children will be more enlightened than us.
Make things happen because they are part of it.
Thank you, because they don't have that corruption in their blood. They didn't live in Nigeria. You and I lived in Nigeria. They can call us tomorrow and say, oh, Taisi, I heard what you said. Taisi, come and take 2 billion. Because they believe that
our own children that kind of a thing without it looking so straight to them. Like, why are you offering
most
this?
of them, thank you, they didn't live in that system. And they are not worshiping money. They live in a system where they value human being.
Exactly.
Not
where
money.
Hard work actually really is valued.
Thank you. Most of us that are talking on the Temple of Truth and everything and this and that, if they call them tomorrow to Nigeria to come and take any ministerial appointment or anything, Maiyegun, they will take the next flight.
Are you sure?
Have you not been seeing it? It's happening every day. Look at Sunday Igboho, people that died, they just died, they just waste their lives. So it's going to happen. Let's just keep going.
I'll take like you said, right? Like you said, this is your sort of
but this is just my personal opinion.
And a theory. And it's so workable too. Let's see, your theory is not something that you can say, oh, no, it really makes a lot of sense. And it also gives us personally, right now, listening to you, it gives me a bit of a sober reflection. Because you know something you just said, even though maybe not many people will agree with you because of the years and time you put into it, but it doesn't really matter. Or you see valid point you made there is that if they have to look at a lot of us who left Nigeria, those who left 40 years ago, 30 years ago, 20 years ago, right? We left at different time for different reasons. But it doesn't really matter anymore. Majority of us have stayed back. We've had children. We've raised them here. And these children are ambitious in their own right too. They are going to be part and parcel of the organizations that we believe runs the world. And eventually, they are also, at the back of them, they have the history of where our own parents came from, right?
Thank you.
Eventually, right, our own children are going to be, if they are not prime ministers of countries, they will be president of countries, they will be decision makers of different countries, but never forget where they come from, that they will push for the breakup of Nigeria if it hasn't broken by then. I think I agree with you.
It's 20 years ago, do you believe somebody like Rishi Sunak could be the prime minister of this country?
I won't believe it, though.
Thank you. So when they get there, they will push for it. They're going to push for it.
So
but we cannot push. We cannot push for it.
This makes a lot of sense, even though they can call it conspiracy theory, right? But it's a theory that is practical. You know,
they're practical.
We have children here. We've seen it. It's not the first, right? We've seen where Nigerians, either they were like those who came from Nigeria, immigrate from Nigeria, or those who are the children of the immigrant from Nigeria, right? Breaking even from all at all fronts in this Western world today. Business, science, academia, entertainment, what have you?
Masters of industry.
You get what I mean? Indeed, indeed, that is not nothing. Because in another 10, 15 years, like you put it, maybe not even up to that, because we already have Nigerians all over the place taking politics, I mean, winning elections in all these countries already.
But it is still our generation, mostly our generation,
that are still doing that, yeah? Meanwhile, there is a generation coming that is more grounded than us.
Which is our children.
Right.
It is still you see, this our generation. Forget it. Maiyegun.
Baba.
If 99% of the people of Temple of Truth, if they call them tomorrow to come to Assholerock and take appointment, they will take.
So,
I've studied, I told you the first time I called you, I said, I've given up on Nigeria. I gave up on Nigerians since 2012.
Baba, thank you
that
so
is this
much.
Generation. But it's gonna be good. Just keep it up. Let's keep going.
I know.
Collaborate, be in partnership and collaborate with people like maybe Sheung, Sheung Kuti, and so on and so forth. Those are the people that will be pushing it. Like Sheung used to say something. Sheung Kuti used to say something. He said, the real Pan-Africanists are not in Africa.
It's true. It's true.
They are not. They are outside.
Those who really care so much about Africa,
they
are mostly outside in the diaspora.
Thank you, the one in the diaspora.
Who always launch and dream of a day we will all return back to Africa.
Thank you very much.
God bless you, sir. Tyson,
God bless.
You have a good one, eh?
And you too.
Yes, sir.
Bye.
That's quite interesting, I have another caller, and this is just going to be me taking just one more call. So I know a lot of you will disagree with that percentage, okay? Please, come on, just hypothetically, okay? Just say hypothetically, say 99%, maybe not 99%, all right? But I am a living witness. People have tried to use me because they thought I was just making noise on social media that I was looking for attention too. I've been tempted a few times, but most of it, right, I took them as a total insult. They never got the chance of coming back again. So listen, until you prove to us that you are not what you condemn or what you are condemning, Baba, may your loyalty never be tested, though. I'm just saying it, too. I'm not going to say 99%. Let's leave that. Forget about 99% of the 10 plus here, okay? Let's assume that's just what do you call that one again? Hyperbole. I've been oxymoron. I can't remember. Anyway, but if they don't test your, there's something they say, may your loyalty not be tested. I know you 100% say, Maiyegun, me. Never. I say, I believe you. See, I believe you. Okay, I believe you. So there's no point in stressing yourself. We're just saying, right? Not until you have a shot of proving it. I said something that people have come to me, right? And in trying to be my friend, okay, getting closer to me. Oh, Maiyegun, great program. Lovely program today, Maiyegun. Well done, Ironio. But they try to get closer to me and begin to try to, not many, I've had like 3 experiences where people just want to be like, Maiyegun, man, you can really make a lot of money, go. And I'm like, why is it everything about money? Like, we agree that the whole place is not working, Abi, because it is not. Then why are you looking for an opportunity to make money from the people who are destroying the place? Why are you projecting that on me? And then at the end of the day, just be like, let you serious, Jerry, because I'm never serious to those people. Aduke, you there?
Uncle Michael, how did you know it was me?
I have mastered the number. I'm good at that. Don't worry. The day you use another one is the day I'm going to be lost. I'll be like, hello, who's there? And then you'll be there like, it didn't know me. No, it can't recognize. I'll be like, yeah, I don't. How are you today, Aduke?
I'm alive.
Yes, you are. And it's good to hear from you.
It's always good to hear from you too, Uncle Michael. Okay, let's get straight into it.
Yes,
I'm disappointed with what the last caller said. I respect his perspective.
Right.
Now here is my chance to give another perspective to what he said.
And it was actually talking about you and your generation.
Yes.
So you are the best person to respond there, right?
Now
go for it.
You only know what you know. You only know what you know. The people that moved from Nigeria to the UK, America, the reason why they're so passionate now is because they've seen a new life. Uncle Michael, everything you say on your show, you weren't saying this when you lived in Nigeria. You weren't saying this in year 1 or year 2 of living in the UK. It's taking you like it's taking you 10 years to reorientate your mind.
A lot, you're right.
Evil is taught to you. So how can you, these Agbalaba uncles be telling younger people to accept the misery? Why? Why should they accept the misery? Because you accepted the misery? That's it. That's evil. What? And I know Uncle did not intend for it to be. What I think Uncle was really saying is he's tired. He's saying that I have given up because I cannot see change. But what he's saying also shows he was raised in Nigeria, because the Nigerian education system does not teach you how to think. It doesn't teach you that change is in increments. That's why everything in Nigeria is fast, fast, fast. It must happen now. That's not reality, Uncle. It's not reality. So how can he say he's now what? He sounds like he's late 40s, 50. He has lived his life. He's now telling the next generation, Ewo, kill yourselves. Endure no light. Endure no water. Endure no just endure it. Just wait. How can you say that to young people? And you guys call yourself elders. Uncle has given up, but you can't give up on the next generation. It's not fair. You can't say that the next generation should endure abuse because you're not enduring abuse. And the reason why he's saying that is he's not in Nigeria. He's living in the West. So he can say that and I'm sure his children are okay. His own immediate family is okay. And that's that selfishness that the government has done to the Nigerian people. They have curated a culture of selfishness and self-centeredness. That's why you see Lagos. You know why Lagos is not protesting? Because they all think they're okay. They're selfish. But Uncle Michael, you know what I did yesterday? I opened the map of Nigeria.
Right.
And I realized that, I don't know if you can show the map. Uncle Michael, you know what I realized? Lagos is small.
Very.
If you see the map of Nigeria, the northern part of Nigeria is massive.
I know.
So I said to myself, okay, Lagos, you don't want to protest? Okay, you guys stay there. It's when the north can tell you that they're coming to Lagos. That's when all of you guys will get scared.
But
it's when you find out.
We're all going to Lagos now. Then maybe you'll be worried from your whatever comfort zone you've got in Lagos. That's sound.
This is it. When the northern people start calling their gatesman in Lagos to say, oh yeah, go and kill your guy. When the northerners start communicating to their because there's I believe is it 20% of Lagosians are actually from the north now? There's lots of northerners in Lagos.
A lot.
So what happens when because before in Lagos, when I go to see my grandfather, the way they viewed the northern people were that they were less than them, right? So what happens when the northern man says, oh, I'm not less than you, Oga, I'm actually better than you? What are Lagosians going to do? So how can the uncle tell us that we should just accept abuse? That's what you're saying. Because not having electricity is mental illness. So we already know Nigerians are mentally ill.
Can I say something?
Yes, Uncle, of course. Yes,
I
sir.
want to believe this is what you heard him say, and you are responding according to what you believe he said, right?
Yes, Uncle.
Something I want to add, right? Because he personally was saying he gave up a while back. However, he was a little bit expectant too when this protest was coming, but at the same time, he felt like it wasn't going to work because a date was chosen. And I get where you are coming from, Aduke, the fact that people are tired. And they are just using whatever they can to show how tired they are, right? Like, they don't have to be perfect. And nobody should, by any means, right? Even if you have signed off, say, I'm not doing this anymore because of this country. You should not project that on those who are making the effort. So I get you, but it wasn't outrightly condemning it. If you get what I mean, it wasn't. It was practically saying,
uncool.
You get it? Okay.
He said, wait 15 years. I'm not saying he was saying it with a cold heart. He was not being mean. He wasn't trying to be malicious. Definitely not. That's what.
Yeah. Okay.
But what he was saying, if you break down, he wasn't being malicious. That I love what I listened to his perspectives.
Right.
He wasn't being malicious. He was being honest. But what I'm now saying is, Uncle, okay, I hear your honesty. Let me give you another perspective. When you tell a generation to wait 15 years,
exactly.
We might as well all just commit suicide.
A lot of you are going to disagree with that because, yes, people want things done, not like right now, but people want to see them put things in place, right? That shows that if consistency is managed, things will get better. In 5 years, in 10 years, nobody wants them to fix everything right now. But you have to be seen to be doing something, right?
Yes.
But I want you to say that because I believe nobody will agree to say, oh, in another 15 years, that's uncertain. We can no longer live our future. We can't let this, our own generation, right, to live in an imaginary future. There must be something concrete. I think that's what this generation is asking for, okay, right? Give us something concrete, not just words or condemnation. Go on.
And what else we're saying is we need steps of order.
Yeah.
I think the elder generation just want everything to happen. I don't know what generation it is, but there's a narrative that everything happens in one day. The abuse of a country that's been happening for 60 years, there's no way it's going to change in one day. No way.
People just want to see them put something in place that they can monitor and watch grow. That's the issue, isn't it?
But College, it can't happen practically because there's so much corruption.
So much.
There's so much. So it's not going to happen in 1 week. But you know what would happen? The gradual steps, the gradual communication, the gradual engagement. The change is in increments. There's no change in life that happens in 24 hours. But you know what is the commitment to the change? The consistency to, like, the fact that you're on the show every day, Uncle Maiyegun, that's your consistency. So if we're consistently involved, having the conversations, not just saying, oh, it's not going to 15, like that makes, I was crying when Uncle said that. So that means Uncle wants a generation of young people to all be, who wants to live in the diaspora? What the hell is here? Come on.
Nigeria stole my youth, Aduke. I have been working since I was probably 11, right? As a child, I've had the responsibility of thinking of how everyone else in the household are going to be all right. I didn't have a good child. I mean, I didn't have a fulfilled kind of childhood as I should because of Nigeria. Guess what? I even had some to talk about my childhood. You need to take a look at the generation of the kids today. They just thrown them into the mix just away. Go and sort it out. Nigeria steals our youth from us. They steal our adulthood from us. I'm sorry, our childhood from us. And then we use the rest of our adulthood struggling, hustling, just to stay alive. That's not fair. Now, if you look at what they are doing to these younger people today, you see many of them, right? Currently begging, walking, lifting, children. Okay, children.
Yeah.
Right? So that's what Nigeria does to us. So if anybody says maybe another 15 years or more, you see 15 years of people's life?
Thank you.
I can imagine how that will feel. Because till tomorrow, I won't forgive Nigeria, okay? I won't forgive Nigeria. Nigeria stole the first 28 years of my life.
I can't imagine. I
practically just started my life over when I came to the UK. Right?
I'm so sorry.
28 years. My age mate probably have been married, graduate, got a job. Some of them probably like started businesses in this part of the world. You know that? And there are millions like me right now. Millions like me that has been subjected to the same experience. There are people who are in their 35th year right now, Duke. They have no purpose. They have nothing. They can say, okay, this is what I want to do with my life. No idea. Right? And that shouldn't be wished on any younger people again to say, okay, 15 years, another 20 years. Come on. So I get you. Okay.
And one last thing, Uncle. Yep. If all these elders want the young people to accept the abuse, who's going to look after you elders? When you guys are all old, who's going to look after you? Because by that time, all the children you've given birth to would have been dead.
You know?
They won't even want to be in Nigeria. They won't even want to come and visit you.
No.
Or they'll all try to leave Nigeria and go to other countries and not come back. The reason why, I just want to leave with this note, the reason why they say the Africans in the diaspora are more passionate is because we can see what life should be like. Yes. When you are in Nigeria, you cannot, all you see is what you know.
That's right.
All you see is so when everyone's angry, oh, why aren't they going out? How can they go out when all they know is fear? All they know is, if I go out, who's going to look after my children? If I die on the roads protesting, who's going to take care of my family? But you that's in the diaspora, you know that that's not how life is. So let's show more compassion to those who actually live in that evil environment with no light. Can you imagine living for 20 years and no constant light? Thank you, Uncle.
Fit as well. See, Aduke, thank you. Right?
Thank you.
We will see you again
Bye-bye.
later this evening. Okay. Brilliant one from yourself. Okay. You have a good one.
Thank you. And love to the uncle before. I hope when he hears my voice, Uncle.
Yeah, he's probably hearing you right now.
I'm not condemning you. I'm just asking you to understand that you can't give up on us. That's all I ask.
God bless you,
Bye,
dear
Uncle.
sister. Stay safe, okay? Now that's Aduke, ladies and gentlemen. My time is so up, and I am going to see you later this evening. If you missed my program last night, you can watch the replay. It's going to come on in another 5 minutes or so, okay? Enjoy the rest of your day, and you have good afternoon.
Maiyegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Maiyegun Diary, Naivety #1. Maiyegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Maiyegun Diary, Naivety #1. Maiyegun ti dé o, ọ̀rẹ́ ará ìlú. Maiyegun Diary, Naivety #1. Lórí Facebook, lórí YouTube. Maiyegun Diary, Naivety #1. Gbogbo bó ṣe ń lọ ni Maiyegun já wa sí. Maiyegun Diary, Naivety #1. Àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í bò níbẹ̀ o. Maiyegun Diary, Naivety #1. Bó bá ṣe eré àní Maiyegun máa wí. Maiyegun Diary, Naivety #1. Ó sì tún ṣe eré wàá gbọ́ níbẹ̀ o. Maiyegun Diary, Naivety #1. Maiyegun Diary, Diary political. Maiyegun Diary, Naivety #1. Godfatherism kò sí lọ́rọ̀ Maiyegun. Maiyegun Diary, Naivety #1. Ẹ farabalẹ̀ sẹ́ o kẹgọ́rọ̀ lẹ́nu o. Maiyegun Diary, Naivety #1. Àní Maiyegun làwa mọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Maiyegun Diary, Naivety #1. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Maiyegun ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Lórí Facebook. Maiyegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Lórí YouTube. Maiyegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Bọ́ bàbá gbé wúrẹ́. Maiyegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. gbádìyẹ.
Maiyegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràjù.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Bí pẹ̀sìdó bá rúfin o.
Maiyegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràjù.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Bí gómìnà kówó jẹ.
Maiyegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràjù.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Ọlọ́pàá ti ń darí bá.
Maiyegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràjù.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Aṣòfin ti ń rúfin o.
Maiyegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràjù.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Òpùrọ́ olóṣèlú.
Maiyegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràjù.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran o.
Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀ o. Maiyegun ó sọ pé wọ́n ò bẹ́ẹ̀. Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀. Maiyegun ó sọ pé wọ́n ò bẹ́ẹ̀. Oníkanṣá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe fáwọn ará ìlú tó gbé wọn débẹ̀ o.
Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Kì máa yí ṣe eré, ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀. Kì máa yí ṣe eré, ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀. Ẹni bá ti lè lẹ́bọ̀ lẹ́rù o, ọmọ bá dèrò kàṣàyè tú wọn síta.
Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Tẹnitẹni ọmọ Maiyegun ọ̀rẹ́ ara ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni mo fọlọ́hún ṣọ́ ẹ̀ bá kìlẹ́bù. Lóòótọ́ olódodo ìlú ọ̀tá ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni ìwọ ṣá máa ń ṣọ́ra kò sì mọ́ bẹ̀rù. Bọ́tà ń lè rí bóníṣègùn lé káwọn mọ̀mọ́ fi ṣera wọn ni ó ti dẹrùn tí wọn ò gbọ́dọ̀ sè mọ́bẹ̀. Èèpo ọ̀bọ lọmọ bá dérò tàjẹ́ ò gbọ́dọ̀ jẹ́, ó ti dọba lórí àbínú ẹ̀ ni kò sì mọ́ bùyà. Àìsíwọ́lu ní ẹnìkẹ́ ìgbódì ẹyin lábàrá o, ó kó ẹni tó bá dán o àkàmù. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì o. Ẹni bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò òní fi wọ́n níran o.
Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.